Yeah, let's come together. I go. They say you not there, we stand, if I there, we fight. If we not celebrate, we do it for you. Voila, you forget it. You from Lower Country, you from Maryland. Voila, you from Rewa Set. I'm a bastard, we own your river. I walk on the fine way. La villa, Kriwako. I love Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Free land on liberty, Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I love Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. They play for me and you, Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
I was raised in the slum, but I chilled with my guns. Kept it on the low, but we fought for the bones. True son of the soil, I'm a prince in my own. Never gonna lie, me, I love that I be. Even though it's far, when we show we can face it. It's not a prophecy, I know that we can rise again. Holding my hand, I hold in your own. United, we stand, divided, we fall. So that's what they say when I come with ball. When I chillin' on that side, and I get no bro. I got L to the O to the V and the E. If we fighting together, we can conquer this team. From the east to the west, then waving the flag from the north to the side. Yeah, I'm joining the team. You go where you pella, you lama or crown. Who kill it? Who got shown?
I love Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Free land on liberty, Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I love Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. They play for me and you, Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Mama was born, yeah. Papa was born, yeah. They hold us together, the honey boy, yeah. Nabalike na koya bake na papa kobo. Nabalike na koya bake na papa kobo. Nabali kola po, nabapa kobo. Nabali kola po.
Exactly. This is the music, the song that introduces the program Open Conversation. So Open Conversation is a 2-hour current affairs program that talks about the major happenings in the country, love in Liberia, and it has been a little while, for over a week now, since we tabled the conversation, and we have come to reawake the conversation. My name is Washington Prince Tappert Jr., and this is how I would like to welcome you to the program Open Conversation, the conversation that talks about Liberia and its happening. Now we're in the crucial and most significant, time in our country's history, where Liberia decides new leadership, and the decisions, have already been made. Today, the National Elections Commission has started announcing leaders, and with all the things that are going around in Liberia, it's all about how we can maintain the peace and the sanity of our country. Let me now move to my host, who is going to be ushered in, Madam Titi. Good evening, and how are you doing?
Well, I'm good, Washington. It's good to be back after, is it 1 week?
Yes,
or
a week.
More? Okay, it's good to be back here this evening. And good evening to all of you who are joining us via this medium or via our social media platform. We'd like to say welcome and thanks for joining us. It's been a long time. We miss you. But, we had to be away just so that we all form part of the process, participate, make our voices heard. And then we're back again. We're glad that LBS was able to provide, the platform for all to freely be heard. And it's a good thing because this is a national platform. We know that, all of this must happen when we are going to elections. So we'd like to say welcome again. And like you started the conversation already, we're not having any guests tonight on the program, but we just like to, talk about Liberia, because Liberia is our common denominator as a people that belongs to all of us, and this is where all of us find peace, love, and everything else. So we'll talk about it. We know that temples are high. The elections, like you've said, the National Elections Commission has started announcing winners. Today is the 6th day. Mind you, the NEC has up to 15 days to announce the results of these elections. But after we went to the elections, we realized that the tempo was very, very high. The stakes are are high, and everybody who goes to a competition, whether a big competition or a smaller competition, all you want to do is to emerge winner. We had hundreds of people going to these elections, and so everybody, the stakes are high. Everybody wants to win. You have one district, and you got about 15 persons, 18 persons.
You got 35, 36 to 37 persons in District 17.
Okay,
I was like, wow.
You can imagine how many persons running in just one district, and those people are running for just one seat, and there is just one person who can emerge winner, because we can have two persons representing a district at the national legislature. So if you're 100 persons in the race, you're 50 persons, 25 persons. Even if you guys were two in the race, one person has to emerge winner. And if you're not the winner, you don't feel good because you haven't won the competition. But that doesn't necessarily mean that because you didn't win the competition, so you should Liberia should burn, or you burst into flames, right? Because it is a competition, and before going into this competition, you knew exactly that there will be just one winner, emerging from the competition you find yourself in. And so whether you guys are 10, you're 20, you were 30, you were 15, the fact of the matter there is you have to leave. Everybody who is in a competition has to leave a small space, right? For, lose or win.
Yep.
Whether you win, it's possible that you can win, it's possible that you can lose. So if you're a representative candidate in a race where you have 10, 15 persons, if you're a presidential candidate in a race where you have 10, 15, 20 persons, you also will leave space as a human, as a normal person.
Exactly.
You always leave space, leave room for disappointment. And so, we know that when you go, elections are very, very expensive.
Absolutely.
Very expensive. People go to elections, they spend a lot of money. Some people start working from the day another person was announced the winner of a district. Some people started working already. They started going into that district like, okay, Washington has been announced the winner in 2017, but I intend to run in the district where he's currently occupying as a representative. And I think the only way I can win that district in 2029 is to start working. And so I start working, but then I go to 2029, and in some cases you don't even come third or second. You come all the way to the fifth or the maybe the sixth or
you go back again,
position, and you're broken because you expect that people will vote for you because maybe you built a little bridge here, maybe you did a hand pump here, maybe you did, something in the community or in all of the communities in the district, and you expect that the people will reciprocate. But then sometimes our politicking is very, very, people can be very, very, what is the right word to use? People fool people.
Deceptive.
Yeah, very deceptive. You call people, you have a campaign rally, and you see a lot of people turn out, and you're convinced that the number of people you see out there are those same number of people who are going to vote for you. But again, when you go to vote, you see that there is something different happening. So all of these things happen. And when they happen as a candidate in the race, it's just good to brace yourself for the worst. And then you just redouble your efforts. You sit back, you go back and recalibrate. Because sometimes some people in the race, they will run the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth time, maybe the sixth time before the win, the third time before the win. Oh no, some people are just so lucky that they will go into the race for the very first time, and then boom, they are, are winners. So people are blessed in different ways. Some people are homing tatas when they get into the race, the way the lyrics they give. People work hard. Those people who work hard, sometimes they don't win, but people who they have the lyrics, they know how to talk to the people, and so they're able to get the votes of the people. But these things happen, and if you have an intention to kind of serve your people, and especially that intention to change the lives of the ordinary people in your district, you shouldn't be deterred, because one day your luck will shine.
Exactly. Like I saw a lot of people, you see, the first thing is that during the political season, the political time, there will be a lot of, backlashes. There will be a lot of, strange talks and languages. Everybody will say some things to one another. But I think particularly what it concerns is that, we are fighting for something like you said. Exactly. We're fighting just for a particular seat, one seat. All of the persons in the race, they want one particular seat that all of us we are fighting for. Now, the major thing is that we want to have the position in order to be able to make impact in our country. That is the major thing. So after these elections, it does not in any way tear the country apart. It does not in any way, cause the country any harm. So I was going to the elections and I lost the election. I accept the results and I have to go back to UTT. We are still Liberians. We are still like NEC has started calling winners already, like for District 16, for some counties, the winners for Nima County, some districts in Nima County, in other counties. NEC have already started calling people. So if you know that you still have, like in Lofa County today, I was surprised that Momo Saras, can you imagine?
It was announced since yesterday night.
No, I'm just saying, she announced it today again.
But as of yesterday, Momo Saras knew that he was the winner.
So you see, Momo Saras contested in I think about 2 to 3 elections.
No, this is his second term. The second time.
This is the second term.
Yeah. The last by-elections he contested, and this time around he contested. This is the second.
Okay, yeah, something like that. Yeah. But so you see, today Momo Saras is now senator. Momo Saras is now
senator elect.
Senator elect.
Be careful the words.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Senator elect. Lofa County. Hope to be certificated. And then he will be senator. Yes. So you see, these things happen. They happen. So it's all about building Liberia. It's all about uniting ourselves. These political times must not tear the country apart.
It's very, very important, that we maintain our cool, and await the National Elections Commission. That is the official body to release, election results. Self-declaration of victory will only set the stage for violence, and we need to guide against such. People coming out to say, I am the winner of this district. I won this district. This person won this district. The only thing it's going to do for us as a country is, to just, raise the tension, and then people will go helter-skelter because they believe what you are saying. The stakes are very high. We continue to say that, so it's important that we wait for the National Elections Commission to announce, the outcome of the presidential elections. It's only the NEC that can make that pronouncement, and we commit the National Elections Commission and all the stakeholders. And we urge everyone to remain peaceful. Whenever and whoever, when you have electoral grievances, the only place that you can settle those disputes, will be in the courts. We've seen a lot as a country, and the children of this country deserve a lot. They don't deserve to die on the account of any disagreement politically. We all must, uphold the Farmington Declaration. This is very, very important.
Absolutely.
Because if we have anything that sparks up in this country, we all know who all will suffer. The women, the children will suffer, and people are starting to put their lives back together. The worst thing, the last thing you want to happen is to have people running helter-skelter. Why do I say this? Today, we've been, there's so much romance on Facebook, rumor-mongers, people, all over Facebook
fake
with
information.
different information. I'm going to read out this information coming out of the, before we go to all of the fake information, I want to read out this communication coming from the Joint Security. I think it's very, very important because of what we saw today on Facebook. I'm trying to find this. I'm trying to find this and read this out because of what happened today.
Yes.
like I said earlier, it's important for us to wait for the National Elections Commission to come out with the results. If you have problems with whatever results coming out of the National Elections Commission, the courts, the doors are open to the court. There is nobody here who's above the law, and that is the only way we can settle disputes. So the Joint Security response to baseless rumors of violence. The attention of the Joint Security is drawn to rumors circulating on social media and other traditional media outlets by unscrupulous individuals who are maliciously spreading lies about the outbreak of violence in Monrovia with the intent to instill fear ahead of the announcement of the election results by the National Elections Commission. The Joint Security reaffirms its commitment to protect the peace and security of the state and calls on all Liberians to go about their normal business while waiting for the National Elections Commission to announce the official results. The Joint Security warns that anyone attempting to undermine or threaten the peace and security of the state will face the full weight of the law.
Exactly.
The media is urged to uphold its obligation of factual reporting and get away from the dissemination of fake news, deliberation of deliberate misinformation and disinformation which runs contrary to their ethics. Persons caught promoting and perpetrating acts of violence will be held accountable under the law. This is signed by Moses S. Carter on behalf of the Joint Security. And I'm sure the Joint Security put out this release because of the things we saw on Facebook today. Those very unnecessary comments, on Facebook today, instilling fear in a lot of people. People were calling all over. People from abroad, people from home were calling and asking friends what's really going on in Liberia. And I'm going to read out some of the comments that and it's sad, but the former deputy minister Eugene Fagon, who sits in the States, will just write on Facebook, just outright, putting things out there that are not true. You're sitting in America and you're trying to destabilize, the country.
Exactly.
You put things on Facebook that are not true. You have no idea whatsoever. He went to the length of even lying on the chief of staff of the armed forces, not the chief of staff, but General Prince Johnson III. Is who? He's not the chief of staff. Who is he?
General Prince Johnson III.
Yeah. It's not the let me just find his comment. He says that's Major General Prince Johnson, and he says he walks out of Joint Security meeting, says the votes of the people must be respected, refuse to deploy the military to intimidate citizens. And this, it's sad because the Major General Prince Johnson even went under his post to respond to him in a laughter. This is sad. You cannot sit in America. He started this since today, posting about Muna Fahad, who is from the ANC, posted on Facebook saying that people are running in red light market. Another person posted and said people are running helter skelter in Monrovia. Other people posting people are running helter skelter in Waterside. People are looting this place. People are doing that. How in the world do you go to an election without the results being announced and you are there, instilling fear in the people when you don't even sit right here in Liberia? You sit out of the country and you post a lot of things on Facebook, and people call and say, what's happening in Monrovia? Are people running helter skelter? What is happening in West Point? What is happening in Waterside? What is happening in how do you call it? Red light market. Somebody called me. I'm right here in Painesville. Nothing is happening. Why? It's about go on Facebook. People were saying that people are running here, there, Yana. Somebody called me from Nimba County. What's going on in Montserrat County? What's going on in Monrovia? How do you do this to a country you claim to love?
It's unfortunate. You see, that is the reason why we are bent on informing our people about the preservation of the peace in this country. It's important because to preserve the peace, it is a requirement of all of us Liberians, whether you are outside of the country or you are in the country. It is incumbent upon you as a Liberian, because one way or the other, you certainly have investment in this country, and you would not like to see Liberia to deteriorate. Nobody would like to see that. Those days of instilling fears in the people and making sure that you use false propaganda and all kinds of statements that will not be true, that will instill fears in the people and allow the people to think that something different is happening, those days are all gone. We're thinking about building this country. We're thinking about ensuring that the young generation that are coming up will be able to lift up the creed of this nation and build the fabric of this nation into a much more better one than what our fathers, our grandfathers, and the rest of the other people have done for Liberia. And this is the trajectory that we all, are leaning on. So people sitting in America, people even in Liberia, whatever parts of the world you are, you must not and should not be involved with bringing fears in the minds of our people. No, there was nothing happening in Liberia today. Absolutely nothing.
These things are making a lot of people afraid, and some people will not even allow their children to go to school because of these kind of things. I heard that the CDC even came out with a release, because some other group said that the chairman, the national campaign chair of the CDC was meeting with the National Elections Commission chair, and the CDC had to come up with a press release, and they said that we don't speak for the National Elections Commission, but for the opposition to lie that our campaign manager, Honorable Eugene Nambwe, attended a meeting at his house with the chairperson of the Election Commission is fake news that does not even deserve the dignity of a response. But hey, you can never underestimate the gullibility of people. That's why I will keep clarifying these baseless lies and propaganda. Yesterday, it was a bad lie that we sent thugs to disrupt a tally center. Today, it's another lie that Eugene Nambwe met Activator Brown Lasana at his house. Big lie, typical of a loser. It's completely shameful how the opposition throws lies around as if it's spectator sports. Losers will, keep lying, especially when there is nothing else left to hold on to. And this is coming from the chairman of the ruling coalition for democratic change. All of these things instill fear in people.
Exactly.
And like we say, and we continue to say, Liberia is all we have, and we must, as a people, maintain the peace. Because if anything should happen here, those people who are sitting abroad and just posting fake news on Facebook because they're not here, they don't know what is happening here. Other people just take news to them, whether it's true or not, they post it on Facebook. You who are here, I who am here, are the ones who are going to bear the brunt of whatever happens.
Exactly.
Our children are going to bear the brunt of whatever happens. Somebody sits in America, somebody sits abroad, somebody sits far away from the capital, Monrovia, who does not have anything to do with, what's happening here. All that person wants is, to satisfy their belly, because they believe that whatever they put out there, if there is a problem, they sit there, they're safe. If you're running up and down and something happens, you will lose your life, your children will lose their life, and they will have an opportunity now to come and take charge.
Exactly.
That is what they're doing. So people have to be far-sighted. People have to understand exactly what people are up to in this country and out of the country. And when they say things on Facebook, don't just go by what they say. The good thing is that, the Facebook is there, but there are people you can ask questions, and it's good that the Joint Security has come up with this release, because I tell you, Monrovia was, Montserrat for a fact. There were people countering what they were saying. You were in red light and somebody says people were running helter-skelter in red light. You will go back on Facebook and say, no, that's not true. We hear people are safe in red light. Nothing is happening here. That is the way that whole romance today was countered.
I was at the police headquarters today because I had an appointment there. So I was strolling through my phone and I just saw this woman all on Facebook, water side, and there was a lady somewhere around, and she had a phone call, and then the president overheard the conversation, like, what's happening in water side? What's happening in Central Monrovia? And then I'm like, what's happening? Because I don't see anything happening yet. So people have got to stop. Look, Liberia is not going back to where you think it should go back. No, we're not going back to those ugly and funny days. We have long transcended from that mentality. We're into something new now. We're thinking about fixing this country. We're thinking about rebuilding the structure of this country. So these kind of fake and misinformation, disinformation, all spewed out in the public must have to stop. They must stop. There's nothing happening in Monrovia today. If you're listening to me, nothing happened in Monrovia today. Monrovia was absolutely peaceful.
Nothing happening in Monrovia. Nothing bad happened in Monrovia.
Because the stuff that it was something was bad happening in Monrovia today, and people were running head to scatter, and the information was misleading. So it wasn't happening. It was wrong. That information received today by whoever put out that information, that person did not do this country justice. It was wrong. It's unfair. Don't instill fear in the people at the early stage. Don't do it. It's wrong. Don't do it. Everybody now is concentrating how the new breed of leaders are going to be brought to the Liberian people because they are making the decision now. And the country looks forward to working with them. And we're looking forward to building this country, continuing from where other people stopped. We're done with the war days. So please, those of our brothers, because the last time the U.S. ambassador spoke, and he said most of the threatening things that are happening in Liberia are from people who sit in America and just have the opportunity to sit on some of these platforms and just say things and just, accuse people. Sometimes somebody may not know about something that happened somewhere, somewhere. The president will sit in America and use one of these, radio stations and accuse people. And then you have the whole country, you have, a particular constituent going against one innocent man, going against one innocent woman who knows nothing about what has happened, because somebody sitting in America, somebody sitting somewhere around the world has an opportunity to the radio station and just use the radio station and accuse people. And these things are factors to deteriorate the peace of our country. And we must counter them. We must preserve the peace. Liberia must be peaceful from today henceforth. It must be peaceful always. And the only way Liberia can be peaceful is when we, the citizens, are able to manage the information that we receive, and we must be the custodians of the peace of this country. If not so, I don't expect anything less from Liberians. Seriously.
Okay, so the National Elections Commission, the only body that is responsible to tell us who exactly, has won elections when it comes to the presidency, whether there will be a runoff, whether there will be, a one-round victory. That body that is responsible to tell us as Liberians is the National Elections Commission.
Exactly.
The only body that is responsible to tell us, and everybody has to listen and go by their results. And if anybody feels, cheated, has a right to go to court because the courts are there for that. Is the National Elections Commission, is the body by law responsible to say who has won and who has, lost elections in this country. Like we said, the National Elections Commission has already started doing that. Today is the 6th day. I said earlier that the NEC has up to 15 days, according to our laws, that, they have 15 days after elections to be finished with telling us who exactly has won these elections, or the elections held, who's won the elections. And if there is a possible runoff, they are responsible to go ahead and make sure that a runoff is held.
Yes.
I listened to the NEC chairperson today. She was asked by one of the journalists whether she's ready to conduct a runoff. She says if there is a possible runoff, the NEC is ready to do that.
Exactly.
I just like to, from National Elections Commission's website, to just bring us up to speed relative to the presidential elections, county by county, and so that we know exactly where we are. And so Bombing County got 171 polling places, and out of the 171 polling places, the NEC has announced results from 170 of those polling places. So it's 99.42% of the polling places complete. The Unity Party got 25,358 votes, while the CDC got 18,152 votes. So we'll go to Bone County. Polling places in Bone County, 555. And out of the 555, 553 have been announced by the National Elections Commission, which is 99.64% of the polling places gone already. And of that number, the Coalition for Democratic Change, that is the CDC, got 76,776, which is 43.87% of the votes already counted. And the Unity Party got 67,124, which is 38.35% of the vote count there. Grand Bassa County got 405 polling places. Sorry. And out of the 405, 334 have been announced already. So it's like 84.69% of the votes counted already. Out of that number, the CDC got 39,348, which is 43.76% of the votes there. And the Unity Party got 31,498, which is 35.03% of the votes in Grand Bassa County. Grand Bassa County, 84.69% of the votes has been counted. Grand Cape Mount County polling places 213, and out of the 213, 147 has been counted already, and 69.01%. Unity Party 19,503, which is 45.04%, and the CDC 17,866, which is 41.26% of the vote. Grand Jita County polling places 168 out of 163 have been counted already. So they're left with just a little percent, because 98%, 98.77% of the votes in Grand Jita has been counted. And of those votes, the CDC has 34,419, which constitutes 78.17% of the votes count, and Unity Party has 4,638, which is 10%. That's 10.53% of the votes count. Then we move to Grand Crew County polling places 110, and out of the 110, 109 have been counted already. So out of that number, the CDC got 24,222, which is 79.55% of the vote, while the Unity Party got 2,556, which is 8.39% of the vote. And then we go to Margibi County, where there are 441 polling places. Out of the 441, 246 have been counted already, which is 55.78% of the vote. And the Unity Party got 36,854, which is 49% of the votes count. And CDC got 30,062 votes, which is 40.05% of the votes. Maryland County polling places 175. Out of the 175, 167 have been counted already. The CDC got 34,990, which is 73.03% of the votes count. Unity Party got 5,420, which is 11.31%. Montserrat County polling places are 2,008 polling places. Of the 2,008 polling places, the NEC has counted the votes from 1,959.
Wow.
And so the Unity Party got 313,372, which is 46.86% 36% of that vote. The CDC got 312,496, which is 46.23% of the vote count in Montserrat County already. So Montserrat County, 97.56% of the votes have been counted. So we got just 3%. Of the votes. And then Nimba County, we've got polling places 736. Out of the 736, 733 have been counted already. So we've got 3 polling places left in Nimba County. Of that number, the Unity Party got 137,433 votes, and that is 59.53% of the vote count in Nimba County. And the CDC got 50,269, which is 21.77% of the vote count already in Nimba County for the CDC. Riverside County polling places 105, and the 105 have been counted. So 100% of the votes have been counted in Riverside County. Of that number, the CDC got 15,339, which is 58.50% of the vote count. The Unity Party got 6,503, which is 24.71% of the votes. We go to Sarnia County, where the polling places are 152, and out of the 152, the NEC has counted 120 already. That is 78.95% of the vote count. The votes have been counted in Sino. And of that number, the CDC got 23,252, constituting 77.76% of the vote, while the Unity Party got 3,421, constituting 11.44% of the votes. In Riverview County, polling places 96 out of 98 have been counted already, and we're left with 2% of the votes. No, not 2% of the polling places. Okay, so CDC got 19,130 votes from Riverview County so far. That is 70.22% of the votes there. And Unity Party got 4,417, which is 16.22% of the votes there. Bapolu County polling places 134, and 134 out of 134 all have been counted. So 100% been clear. Of that number, the Unity Party got 16,703 votes, which is 44.53%. The CDC got 15,247, which is 40.65%.
Yes.
The National Presidential Progressive Tally Report consolidated 5,467 polling places of 5,890, constituting 92.82% of the vote.
Wow.
Of that number, the Unity Party got 748,463, constituting 43.70%. CDC got 747,578, constituting 43.65% of the vote. The margin is 885 votes. Invalid votes, my disappointment, 1,000. No,
because I was kind of looking at you.
The valid votes are 1,712. No. Maybe I don't know how to call numbers. This is
no.
1 million that the valid votes.
The valid votes, right? Yeah, the valid votes are in million.
1,712,821. The invalid votes is my disappointment. 105,000.
What an invalid vote.
719. How in the world
do we have
all these invalid votes? So this is for the presidential, elections.
Yeah.
And we've got, according to the National Elections Commission, where is it? I want to be factual. 92.82% of the votes have been, the results are out.
I mean, we got roughly about 7% of the votes. How many?
7 point something percent of the votes.
With 92.82.
92.82%.
We got less 7%, 7 point something percent.
Yeah,
of the votes.
7 something percent of the votes are remaining now, and hopefully we might get all of that tomorrow from the National Elections Commission. So whatever happens, unless the extraordinary happens, because for you to win elections in this country, you have to have 50% of the vote plus one vote. So all of these, the two parties have 43. 43 plus 7 is what? It's 50, right? So 43 plus 7, we're left with 7 point something percent of
7 point something small.
Percent of the vote. Mind you, all of them got, some small percentages behind them. But you need to have, for something miraculous to happen is for one of the candidates to have 7% of the votes. And then they balance something
has to do with massive dominant.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then the balance something can go to the other person. It doesn't really matter, because you need 50 plus 1.
Yeah.
And it has to take a miracle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a miracle for you to have, because, and looking at the projections is that, even though when we look at it, Montserrat doesn't have much more to offer. They still have, 97% of the votes in Montserrat, 3% of the vote. Montserrat is a big county.
It's a very big county.
So we can.
It's a vote-rich county.
But you have in Sino County.
You still have Sino.
You still have Sino County with 78% of the votes. So you got 20 some more percent of the votes still not, in from Sino County yet. You also have River G County. No, River G County, it's
you have Nimba.
Just 2%. No, Nimba is just three polling places.
Small in Nimba.
Three polling places. Let me see here. How you call it? Right next to Margibi is still there's a lot to count in Margibi County. Yeah, because let me look for Margibi County. We've just gone 55.78% of the vote.
So that means we have a lot to count
in Margibi. We have a lot of votes, still in Margibi to go.
Exactly.
And these two political parties are going to share those votes, unless the place where you have is one party's,
like you have Sino.
Okay, like you have Sino.
Definitely.
Yeah, most of the votes coming out of there will, go to the CDC.
Will favor the CDC.
Yeah, will favor the CDC. Yeah. But Margibi here, the polling, the margin is 36,000 in favor of the Unity Party, and CDC is 30,000. So we don't know where, the remaining 40 or 35%, or 40%.
It's gonna be a
45%.
It's gonna be a battlefield.
We obviously know that these two parties are going to take votes.
It's gonna be a battlefield.
Yeah, they're gonna take votes from this county. So unless something miraculous happen, then we'll see one person winning on the first ballot. But if that doesn't happen, if they'll have to share.
But you said something. You said something. Our disappointment, the invalid votes. Yeah, and you're taking into consideration as well. These votes, they play a very important role in elections.
For me, it speaks a lot about, civic voter education.
Exactly.
It speaks volume.
Because there were a lot of concerns coming out from, a lot of people. Muhammad, we have, these amounts of invalid votes. When the people have basic civic education about how to vote, who to vote for, we're still struggling with this, stuff, this voter education awareness stuff. So our Liberian people, probably they may have just voted the way they vote and not taking into account how particular their mistakes will be to push this election to a first round or to a second round.
How does that happen? It's incumbent upon the National Elections Commission to make sure that people understand exactly the civic rights to vote, know how to vote. And it's also the responsibility of these political parties that have been running helter-skelter to make sure that it is not about just telling people to vote for you, but because the population you have, that people are not a lot of people don't read and write.
Exactly.
Simply put, somebody goes in there, and I was hearing a story today from what do you call it? I was in Lofa County. I said the same thing. I gauged the views of some older women in that county, and they didn't even know how to vote. I was asking, you say your candidate is this person. Do you know what number the person is on the ballot box? I know. They said they'll show us, right? So, the thing about it is, somebody said today to us, we're having a conversation, the person was way there in Refugee County, and the person said they were acting as, how do you call it, observer for an independent candidate.
Okay.
And that person was in the room, and then this guy went to vote. And he entered there, they gave him the ballot paper, everything. He went behind the place, and he came back, he said, somebody got to help me, I don't know how to vote.
Like, seriously.
And then the people said, the networker said, no, you have to go out and find somebody who's going to help you. But nobody in here is going to help you because we're not allowed to do that.
Exactly.
The guy went outside. He did not find anybody. He came back inside. He said, I don't see nobody. So, see, you want for me to see, you don't want to help me, I will go down. I make anybody to feedback. I will vote for everybody.
Amen.
And true to his words, the person said when they were counting the vote, that guy corrected everybody. He said he making no. It's sad, but it's serious, right? Right?
Damn it.
The guy
like seriously.
The guy said, I'm making nobody to feedback. I will get everybody next time.
Amen.
What does that tell you? That person did not know. They have in mind who they want to vote for, but they don't know how to recognize that person.
The approach with the ballot paper had confused the young man. So he's seen
many other people. If you have over 100,
100,000.
Yes, of the votes invalid
in the 21st century.
It
speaks a lot.
That most of our people do not know how to read and write. The political parties need to change their strategy. If we're going to second round or whatever, we're having elections again, the National Elections Commission has to do more with civic voter education.
Everybody.
People don't know who to vote for. They know who to vote for, but they don't know how to find that person on the ballot paper. People get frustrated and they just check everybody, or they say, okay, you know what? I will just choose the first one.
Yes. That could be another alternative to the people.
The fact of the matter is, I just have to vote. I can't do invalid, but since I can do invalid, I will just choose this other person who's at the top.
Or just mini-money.
Just do mini-money both.
Very good.
But it counts against the political parties because it will all boil down to what is going on right now.
Exactly.
All those invalid votes, those people went there with the intention of voting for a particular person.
Where is it? We're having over 100,000 invalid votes.
Yeah.
Do you think if those votes were actually improperly managed, we won't be talking about...
We would have had a winner by now.
By now, we would have had a winner.
The second round.
You know what it means to have over 100,000, invalid votes?
Invalid, yeah.
Come and think about 100,000 invalid votes.
It's sad.
If currently now, you add 50,000 votes to a particular candidate, the two candidates in the race now, with the 43 point something percent, add 50,000 to anybody vote. The elections of it.
Like my mother is there. I don't know more.
You see that? So wasted over 100,000 wasted votes.
Yeah, it's sad.
So that mistake will have to take this country, if we don't have a winner, then we will have to take this country to second round.
A lot of money.
We have to take some financial burdens only because of what is happening now with the people who did not do what was appropriate.
Yeah, but they didn't know what to do. They wanted to be a part of the process.
The men went and mark everybody.
The men say, I'm not a vote. You're helping. They say, no, we can't help you. Go outside and find somebody. Well, outside, nobody can find anybody. See, come outside. Not be anybody to feedback.
Oh, just call everybody. Amen.
Finish.
Amen.
It's serious, but it's sad also. It's funny, but it's sad also, because that man had an intention to vote for somebody, but that person, he couldn't recognize that person. He didn't know how to find that person on the ballot paper. So he made everybody to feel okay, and the country at large feels bad, because if those people were sensitized properly, we will be talking about this person has won the election or that person has won the election, save the country a lot of money, but that is not happening, or that is not going to happen. That is not most likely to happen, because a lot of people did not vote properly.
Exactly.
But lessons learned, whether or not, next time we're going to do better is another thing. But let's come back. We'll open up the lines for you to, make your input. But it's very, very important for us to stress what is happening in this country. Liberians are one group of people who should know by now that, peace is important more than any other thing.
Absolutely.
We know what we've gone through. We've been through in this country. Many people did not have a youthful upbringing because of the war. All of our youthful life, we had to run helter-skelter because we had war in our country.
Exactly.
You don't expect that your children will go through this. Nobody wants that, because people are trying to put their lives back together.
Yes.
And when you're trying to you can't be taking one step further and somebody trying to bring you backward because of their own selfish gain. Somebody believes that they have to have certain things. And for that to happen, if people would die, they would die. If children will be out of school, they will be out of school. That is, satanic to the core.
Exactly.
And we must not, as a people, play to the game of these people. Because whatever happens, we will still have a leader in this country.
Yes.
And Liberia must go on. Life must go on. And Liberians must be, we must have a life. We have a life to live. Everybody is just on edge because of the way people are making things to seem. The National Elections Commission, from the day, President Weah took over, all of these elections we've been having, the NEC has not had any problem with arm twisting or what have you. The ruling party has lost elections, yes.
Several elections.
Yes. And everything has been smooth. We're going to these elections, we must pat the neck on the back.
And I was just thinking about it.
Sorry, you come in. The National Elections Commission has been doing her utmost best to keep everything, stable. Announcing the results. Nobody has come to say that, the results you have announced in this place, are not the results, because you have your tally sheet. As a responsible, candidate in these elections, if you're running to elections, election is no small matter.
No.
You got to spend money when you go into elections.
Exactly.
So if you're going to elections and you don't have people to man the pools for you, it's nobody's business. You cannot put everybody on edge because you didn't have pool washers. It's your business. You're going into competition. You must be ready for the competition. So if you don't have your tally sheets, the National Elections Commission has it for you. Other people were there. Give peace a chance. Let these people do their job. And when they're done, in case you don't feel satisfied, you feel aggrieved, go to the court.
Simple. Like I was trying to say, since I've been following the National Elections Commission from the very onset of the pronouncement of the results, the National Elections Commission has actually been doing well. That's why you say we should give it a tap on the back. They've been doing well. See how the conduct of these elections are looking. Today you see other people jubilating, tomorrow you see other people jubilating, and and the atmosphere is at an equilibrium, at equilibrium stand.
And it's okay.
And it's okay.
It's okay. But for people to go the extra mile and start lying and say that people are running helter-skelter in West Point, they're running helter-skelter in Waterside, people are taking their children from school, what do you call it? Red light.
Red light is
upside down. The chief of staff did this one did that. That is so bizarre.
It's unpatriotic for a Liberian to desire that, since we are not the one who should be protected by the National Elections Commission to be declared as winners, we must inflict, we must do things that will bring the country to its knee. Then it becomes embarrassing for our country, for your country. You think you're doing harm to our country. You must be able to manage the information you give out to the people.
You sit down in America, you don't even vote, you support somebody, you don't even come down to vote for that person, but all you do is just spew garbage on Facebook, rubbish, lies, misinformation, disinformation, and you think it's okay because you are in America. So if anything sparks up here, you are far away and you're not
directly affected.
Get hurt. But people need to know these kind of people. Eugene Fagon has left this country for a long time. He sits in America and all he does is just spew a lot of garbage on Facebook. He goes live and he says things that are not happening because he believes that if anything happens here, he's not going to be affected.
Nope. Not
in America. He's not going to be affected
directly.
You have to be sensitive to these things because if people push you and you get out there, your children will be affected. You yourself will be affected. Women, children,
your family will be affected.
Yeah, your family will be affected.
Your infrastructure will be affected.
You're trying to put your life back together and somebody sits in America and they just talk rubbish on Facebook. And they make people very uneasy.
The better health care, the better educational system, all of these different things will be affected. Only because
we'll go right back to square
going
zero.
back. I want Liberians to look and have a flashback from where we're coming from. See how these things, today we're talking about building roads. Today we're talking about building preachers. Today we're talking about improving the health sector.
Yes.
We're talking about improving the schools. And yesterday, Bola match were all between these things. So, does it make sense for us to go back there? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. So, even if we have qualms, we have issues, we have, reservations, the best thing is to do is not to listen to the garbage that's coming from people across the country. It's to ensure that we channel our concerns or our observations to the rightful authority. And that's what we must be able to do. And not to allow these people to say, oh, something's happening on the side. Yeah, go there. Everybody, something happening on the side. And that information was terrifying today. When I listened to a lot of people, I was at police headquarters today. And I started hearing people, they said something happening to what the plane, Water Side, something happening in Central Town, something happening in Red Lion. I said, but what's the meaning of this? Then they say, Facebook, check my Facebook, blah, blah. So one girl called her sister say, I'm parking my market because they say everybody must park the market. Curfew. Can you imagine somebody even say curfew?
Yes.
Can you imagine?
Who's governing this country now? You're the one who are imposing curfew.
Who announces curfew in the country?
Who does that? What kind of patriotic Liberian does that? And you think it's funny, but when things, I don't want to use that word.
Yeah, you're not even using it because
every one of us are going to be, running here, there, and nobody wants to go back there.
No.
So, I think we can open up the lines now
and take some views.
And let's hear from you. And we're talking peace and nothing but peace for Liberia. Nothing but peace. And how what's your contribution? What does that mean for you as a person, as a Liberian? Let's talk about that.
So put your calls through 080514096.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Roland Swad and I join you from my Lord to
Let's hear you.
Hello?
Let's hear you.
Yeah, actually, sometimes, we are in a democratic system, but actually, if I go with what just put the money, the leadership of this government to the country. But now that particular school efforts have been closed ever since. Because you can't decide people use the government and then even if the force will stop. And then many people don't have to up to that. They have to operate too.
Okay. Thank you. Good evening.
Hello?
Good evening.
Hello?
Good evening, sir.
Hello.
You're live. Good evening.
Okay, thank you. This is Augustine P. Williams, and I do join from Pleasant District, Miller County.
Let's hear you from Plebo, Southern District.
Yeah, okay, let me appreciate your analysis. Actually, it's so much disheartening to see over 100,000 invalid votes. And I think that it's not good for the economic system of our election process. What we try to understand in our own weak way is that we're trying to follow the process. People in the rural community sometimes are not good at English. So the financial that have the impact to go to Omar and the second voter to speak to them that, oh, this is the rightful way to vote in your own dialect. I think that alone will also make the people to understand.
So let me ask you.
The voting it has 3 ways to vote: the fingerprint, the X, and the check mark.
Yeah, but that's it. That is it. That's the way. But my thing is, even if you ask, if you show people that, you as a political party, you have to tell the people also, you know, how to vote and where to find you on the ballot.
Exactly. For me, my senator currently also provides the education and spent over 50% on the fee across the town. So that alone, I think they brought little help. For me, what I did as son, exactly the scenario that you gave is that individual market, all of the killing list. The senator directable, the individual mark, all of the killing list. When the international mark, the president, all of the killing list, the international mark, all of the representatives.
They won't make it for the people, but it's
happening. It was very disheartening. And for the issue of peace for our country, we, the one people we have to be peaceful. The election will go, Liberia will stay. Whoever win, we should be able to work it that way. And whoever has this enchantment in the process of the election, they should find the right procedure. And that's why we remain committed for the result that is coming up.
Okay, so, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the show. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you also for being a part of the program. You can also do so by calling us on 080-514-096. Let's take this one. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hello.
Sir, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, hello. This is Anthony from Happy.
Let's hear you.
Hello.
Sir, you are live. Go ahead. We're hearing you.
Okay, thank you. You know, I want to say thank you for your show. But what regarding the invalid vote, for me, what I experienced in the appointment invalid vote is, you know, there are 2 conditions that I was very important invalid votes. Number 1 is the symbol of the ballot paper, which we consider to be your candidate. No paper should come or 1 or 2 weeks are here in the election. That people will use the paper to educate people who do not to vote.
I agree with you.
That will be able to, that education will help people to know how to vote. Number 2 is, hello?
I agree with you.
Okay, thank you. I'll tell you now. Okay, number 2 is that people who are working with net in the room there, in the working place. So people, you know, normally the operation when I was working, the operation was very poor, you know, during the election. Because if someone go in the area and people, I don't know how to vote. Please help me. I think among the topics that what all representatives are present, we can ask the president among the people to say, who do you want to vote for? And the president can call the president who he
No. The National Elections Commission was clear, and they said that if you don't know how to vote or who to vote for, come with somebody, one of your relatives, who has a voter's, card. And that person can go with you because you guys are relatives. You guys, know who you support. They were clear.
Then what? Okay. Then what the main thing is who use their finger to vote. So after voting, some of them vote right. But after voting, they will immediately fold the ballot paper. And whenever you fold the ballot paper, the in will immediately accept the other side of the paper. And when they enter to the other side of the paper, that ballot paper, and the ballot paper becomes an invalid vote.
Okay, well, maybe I don't know about that. I don't know whether as soon as you do that and you fold the paper, it gets on the other side and it becomes invalid. The next, will have her own time to sit back and look at all of these things. Thank you so much for being a part of the program. Good evening.
Well, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, thank you. The 70 years today, I join you from Fishtown, Village, Thomas Street, from Backbounce precisely.
Go ahead.
Okay. Indeed, grateful for hearing you as such a female for your clarity in articulating on the public media. So let me have interest in speaking to 2-minute issue to start. I firstly want to say thank to the NEC for the work doing on the collection, the report from us, polling center. And I also want to speak to the issue of these invalid votes in good number. NEC also now did us well as the politician because the voter education was not done in all counties. This is why we have had too many invalid votes. To the issue of our country peace, which is have been a kind of concern in every county. We, like you people are always saying on the public media, we want to appreciate your effort for broadcasting the information on the peace to be stable. And we also want to encourage our brothers, don't mind what you will receive when you are being pushed to doing things that will put us behind. We don't have the time. We don't have the time again to calculate that war. So I want to thank you for being on the show. Sorry, I don't know your name, and I wish to have it. Probably when I go off here, before you need to call your name. Thank you, and have a good night. God bless.
Thank you also for being a part of the program. The guy super likes wants to call your name. Thank you. Good evening.
Yeah, my name is
Let's hear you.
You get me?
Let's hear you, Rufus.
Yeah, man. I just want to point out this one election. Like, I was appointed around a calling teacher. And when I went in the area, I said, oh man, asking the people the people for spending. I just want to say, some on the paper. Asking the people for Tom and pen to mark their people, to mark the community for people. And almost because she said, if you don't know the person, go out and call somebody. She called me when I went there. I saw the woman had to vote. She marked the people. She marked the person she was voting for. I was chaos that. But I'm flat to follow too. So I said, oh, I know how to vote. The person I'm voting for, I'm ready to do it. So I'm called something like that. Can't you? I said, Apple, I'm out of vote. And I just feel the
or you were showing who the person you wanted, like person you were showing him. The person you wanted, like the person you were showing her, eh? The person you said, the woman who wanted help, you just say, oh my, no. So you said, the same person for the person. The first woman why you help say, why the let you go there 2 times for say, why the let you go there 2 times? Who know whether you are just showing a point to for your own candidate?
Yeah, at least everything in the I agree with you.
I agree.
The woman is all get a children with it.
But again, the thing about it too is, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, brother.
The thing about it too is, you going with your grandma and say you're not on the scene now because your names are different. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello?
Sir, good evening.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Espa Junior. I did things from number 17.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Getting me?
There you go. Go ahead.
Yeah, I first of all want to thank the Almighty God for the life given to each and every one of us as Liberians to go at the polls this October 10 to perform our civic duties in life. You know, I'm a first time voter, but especially in I was so amazing for me to do an exercise my duties given to me by the Constitution. And indeed, I made the right choice of which I know it is beneficial to myself, my conversation, and out there today. And let me say a very dear prayer to the National Election Commissioners for conducting a very smooth, free, fair, and transparent elections into our country. Now, in terms of maintaining the peace, we want to tell all of Liberians, most especially we the youth, as a first consider, let us be stay out of violence. We shouldn't be intimidated by those warlords, people who are making reckless statements in terms of destabilizing our peace. Because these very people who are making these statements, their family elements are not here. So they want to use us as a tools to cause chaos among ourselves. And that is not going to happen. We are no longer stupid. We have understood in anything that we have seen from our 15 years of civil war that have fought into this country. They have made our administrative buildings have been demonized. They have been different. So we are not going into any wars into this country. Whoever wins and be announced that let, if that's what we're going to accept, definitely. Thank you ever so much for the opportunity given to me.
Thank you very much.
It's also good to hear you, Mr. First Time Voter. That is something that everyone is excited to do, you know, for the very first time. And I don't know whether you guys, you know, especially all around the country, whether the first time voters, you know, knew how to vote. Hello. Hello.
You were really involved with this.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes. I'm Washington calling from Bangalore.
Let's hear you, ma'am.
You know, one thing I would say to our greedy politicians, they shouldn't threaten our peace because we felt the war, we went through the war, and we know what it is, and we know what we tasted as young children coming up. I got 4 children. I have a 16-year-old son who is growing so big. I would allow no one to spoil the future of that child. Now that my 10-year-old daughter who got breast in her chest, that somebody want to use her and say that they are wife. So we are warning them to please stop. We will not relent. We will continue to get on our knees and pray.
Amen.
Because whatsoever evil they have for this country, for our children, if they try anything, we will get on our knees and pray, and it will go against they and their generation unborn. Because we know what we felt.
I know.
So we Liberians will continue to be on a march. We will continue to keep praying. We will not relent. So thank you so much for the show. God bless you.
Thank you, Mama. You're so right.
Good evening. Hello.
Hello?
Welcome. What's your
Hello?
name? What's your name and where you call from? Welcome.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello?
What's your name and where you call from, sir? You're live. Go ahead, please, sir. Tell us your name and where you're joining us from.
I'm calling from Apple, Maryland County.
Well, you're in the Marylanders tonight. Let's hear you.
You know, that's about tonight. The way in which they conducted the election, it was very properly in Maryland. But something I want to say, those people that want anyone that is trying to destroy peace, all their property should be free. Whether it's America or Europe or Africa, their property should be free and they should be punished. That is something that you start to the face the ground.
So I'm sorry, I have to take you off the line. You're coming in really, really broken and it's disappointing. Good evening. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
You're live. We're hearing you. Go ahead, please.
Okay. This is from Jacksonville. I'm so happy to hear you and Melvin tonight, 60 people. You know, our country, I don't know.
Are you calling us using, the internet? Because you're coming in really broken, sir. I'm sorry, I have to take you off the line. You're coming in very, very bad. Good evening. You have to move away from your radio when you're calling. This thing gives us a very bad feedback to our ears. Hello? Good evening. Zero 880-514-096. Hello? Move away from the radio, please.
I'm hearing you. How you doing?
Yes, ma'am. Good.
Thank you for the show. I want to say something, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
For this politician that is trying to black people to bring war. We all our doing. This is a Christian country. If they have us, if they have the black people, they will not think about that. Because they don't have half of black people that want to threaten the peace of this nation. So that God is on the truth. That God will do against them. God will set the decisions that make. They will never succeed in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you, Mama. Good evening. Good evening.
Hello? Hello?
Good evening.
Hello?
Sir, you're live. Go ahead.
This is Nicholas speaking from South Grand.
From Pinestown. How is Grand Crew tonight?
What I want to tell my fellow Liberians is that those who are threatening the peace of this country, they shouldn't listen to them, because if we listen to them, our education sector will be damaged. Because through our education, we'll be able to achieve life and develop our own life and also our family, including the country. So anybody who deserves winning for the election, when the election commissioner must accept the result. That is my advice to Liberian people this night. Thank you all.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello? How is Pinestown?
Okay,
that's good. Thank you for calling. Thank you for calling.
We are looking up to the election commissioner.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling. Zero 880-514-096 is the number to call, and you'll be live on I'm thinking
Open conversation.
I'm thinking about the program name.
Come on, man.
Can you imagine that? And you'll be live on Open Conversation
You
at
were out for
just
like
out
a
for
week.
just 1 week, and I'm forgetting about the name.
Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Hello?
Good evening.
Hello?
Good evening.
Hello?
I think you hear my voice. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, you're live. Welcome. Go ahead.
My name is James Neal calling from Maryland, Canada.
We have a lot of Marylanders tonight. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, we just want to tell the people that play the team. Some of us were coming off, we did not enjoy our being in Liberia. We left, we went to Africa, and we suffered so long in Africa. So we are not willing to go back to Africa and suffer. So we did there. Anybody that win the election, then lose the election, let you accept the result, and let's keep going in Liberia. Thank you.
Thank you also for being a part of the program. I like you said, we're not willing to go back to Africa, but the people in Africa themselves are suffering, so they don't want anybody to
They don't want people to add them up.
So the people too need a peace of mind. Exactly. So if we're here when they're having our peace of mind, let's try to maintain the peace. And staying out of your country in another man's country is very difficult.
Mm.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, good evening. My name is Emmanuel Odenis. Hello?
Oh,
yes, Emmanuel Odenis and I joined the evening conversation for better fun this evening.
Let's hear you.
Yes, let me call the both of you for the program tonight. You know, there are many of us, like, for me speaking, I'm a victim. Since I was born, I didn't set my eyes on my father because of the Civil War. So even when I hear people threatening the peace of this country, I just say sometimes, I say, God, please help us. Because I don't even want to have that experience on any of the children I'm born in. So please, so I'm just praying that God will help us. So that those that are sitting, let's go in America, around here, making all sorts of comments to plunge this country into chaos, God will not allow them to succeed. Because we don't want to have really any experience of the past. So I believe God will save our country, and this election result will be accepted, and we will go on with our life. Thank you so much.
Thank you also for being a part of the program. You couldn't have said it any better. You know, people think that war is something to play with, but you never know how it's devastating until you test it, until you witness it. Then you know exactly that what we're talking about it's no child's play. I don't know why we keep getting this kind of bad feedback. Please move away from the radio, please. Hello.
Hello?
So welcome.
Good. It was terribly bad.
From our end or from your end?
Are you getting us?
Hello?
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 Yeah. Chris, by calling from Korea, Kevin.
Okay.
Yeah, this election we need peace.
Look, I'm sorry I have to hold you there. I'm really, really sorry. Call us on 0770 192696. It's better. The feedback from the telephone is terrible. It's killing our ears. 0770 192696. You call that number and you'll be live on the program. I'm not taking calls from the other number. The feedback is really, really terrible. So I call the number again, 0770 192696. 1926, when Firestone came to Liberia. 1926-96. And you'll be live on the program. Let's take this one. Oh, trouble coming. Hey. Hello.
Hello? Yeah.
You're live. Go ahead.
Background.
Thank you for going off. You can't be listening to the radio, and be calling us because the delay will be there. I don't know whether you're watching online and then you're calling us. The delay will be there. I'm sorry. Good evening.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
You sleepy?
Yeah, I'm lying now.
But we're not lying down. So please put a little, life in your voice, please.
Yeah, I want to listen to the show tonight because they don't discussion. Yeah, I can hear to all political actors and all citizens family. So we don't want to go back. Those things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. How you guys doing?
We're good.
Gabriel, Pierre speaking from the ELBC.
Okay, Gabriel.
First of all, I want to talk on one radio station that got Spoon FM. They're always giving people misleading information. Like the last time I've been listening to it, I just decided to just forget about that. I've been listening to it. They've been telling people like war fighting, Grand Chile is only happening in another area and other things. It make people so afraid.
Those are all lies.
Mhm.
Don't listen to that. It's a lie. People just want to make people run around here again. That's all. And you have to be sensitive to that. Good evening.
Really?
Good evening.
Hello.
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 How smart they are doing to know. When I sleep, I just sleep and listen to the program. When you sleep, just sleep. The place the program will stop you that but when you sleeping, you call it again. It's so unfair to us because you want to talk, you don't want to talk. It's so unfair.
It seems like what we've talked and all the energy we've exhausted, and then you come to make us to feel a little down with what we said.
Meaning tired, they're coming from out, they're sleeping. You want to listen to the show, you just listen to the show. The thing about it is tonight is all about peace.
Yes.
We're talking about Liberia is not going to burn because somebody has, a political interest, and that interest that person has must be, or desire must be fulfilled. It's wrong. That is why we're practicing democracy. When we go to elections, whoever wins. Nobody has, that right to threaten the peace we all enjoy only because you are not in the lead or you believe that you deserve to be the leader. That is so unfair, and you can't do that to us as a country.
Exactly.
And all of us must guide against that, because if something happens, all of us will feel the pinch of it, whether you like it or not.
Exactly.
You're not going to sit. Hello.
You're not going to skip.
Hello.
You're live. Go ahead.
Hello. Are you getting me?
I'm getting you.
Yeah, my name is where you calling from Peace Island.
Okay, let's hear you from Peace Island.
Okay, the problem in this country, we are seeing that the people getting the nation, but the media herself, some of the media is carrying misleading information. So this ever also go to the media, those are carrying no information, misleading people. These are the things that can be problem in this country.
Okay.
So yeah, this is why I call you to let you know. This is why I want to let you to ELBC. Because no information if you giving it, all people will be giving a certain remark.
Okay.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you also for being a part of the program. Let's hear you. Hello.
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 I'm Tommy Harris calling for Kuwait.
Okay, Harris.
I think for a topic on discussion.
Yeah.
I just called the all of rain to remain peaceful. To avoid violence. Anyone win? That was the day. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Very
Let's hear you.
Thank you so much.
Tell us your name and where you're joining us from, please.
It's terrible.
Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
How are you?
Good.
I'm Fode Mage calling from Upper Car, some kind of district 11.
Okay, let's hear you.
tell the election commissioner thanks very well. She really did well. We are in peace. We're loving the process. We are telling our brothers and sisters that we are youthful age that we be careful. We shouldn't misled by anybody. Anybody wins is our president. When this election go for tomorrow, let us go and vote in peace and wait for our next president. Problem will take us nowhere. Some of us spent decades in exile. We just came back and this is our first voting. So we pray that this election will go peacefully and we'll get president in peace. Thank you.
Thank you also for being a part of the program. Let's hear you.
Hello.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Let's hear you from Granji there.
Yeah. We pray for peace though, because for us, we are going to happen with the election commission. She's very clear, well. Everything going down cool. So happy in peace because the Afro, yeah, we get the guy, refugee guy who won't go to be refugee there. So,
they must have been on your refugee camp, man. No way to cross the border to go there for to be refugees, right? I like that. I like that. Is Granjida peaceful? Everything is okay, right? Okay, that's good. Thanks so much for being a part of the program. The people in the county are peaceful. You right here, or you far away from Liberia, and then you lie and saying people are running hell to scatter there. Good evening.
Something.
Good evening. How are you?
Good.
Okay, my name is Pastor Sumo, and I call from China community.
Okay, Pastor.
Well, we want to give God the praise for the processes that is ongoing, for the electoral processes. We are very grateful to God, and we are sure that God is going to maintain the peace. God is going to help us to maintain the peace. But just what you were saying concerning the miracle for any political party to get that 7%, so that they get 50 plus 1, and the possibility does not exist because of that number that is remaining is not going to be shared among the two leading political parties. Other political party will get some of that 7% that is remaining. Some of that 7% going to be invalid vote, as you are aware. So that possibility does not exist.
And that's the 1% you.
So we are
very sure that 92% of the vote has already been counted and tallied. So
yes. So
that's
the remaining
7.7%.
Yes, the remaining that will be left is just impossible for
so your pastor, you know about miracles do happen. So if you're a pastor and you don't believe in miracles, then
if it is two political parties, that miracle can happen.
Oh, Pastor, with God, all things are possible. Men of God.
We just want to be assured. We just want to assure the public that they're going to be around.
No, Pastor, you cannot be the one saying that. You, Pastor, you cannot be the one saying that. No, I'm sorry. No.
If I should predict the miracle,
I didn't say you should predict the miracle. I'm just saying miracles do happen. I'm not saying you should predict, but for you as a pastor, as a man of God, to be, to not believe in miracles, then I'm not visiting your church. Trust me.
But the possibility of that miracle happening in this universe.
That is why it's called a miracle, Pastor.
Okay, let's say that there will be a miracle.
No, I didn't say there will be a miracle. The miracles do happen.
Let's agree that there will be a miracle.
Who told you that the woman with the issue of blood ever, thought that she would be healed? She never thought that. That man who sat at the pool of what?
Bethesda.
Okay, that is it. Bethesda. Do you think for how many years? 36 years or what?
He sat there for 36 years.
So miracles do happen, Pastor. Don't make me to preach here, please. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Pastor. Thank you.
And who's that preacher?
Pastor want me to preach here tonight.
Okay,
Hello. Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Yeah, try.
Okay.
And I am Civic calling from Greenwood County.
Now, Fuewa.
All right, I'm waiting to you.
Afuenuncia. Aponya swatato.
Okay.
Bawonetio.
Yeah. I want to contribute to that program.
Go ahead, we're listening. Since I won't speak Rudo, you know
Yeah,
what
my
is happening.
contribution is
Oh, it's English.
concerning the election. Hello?
We're hearing you. What is your name, in fact?
My name is James. I'm calling from Greenwood County.
Okay, I just understood the J, but the one that came after, I didn't understand. Go ahead, we're listening, Mr. J.
Yeah, but I'm hearing two person name on the radio. I don't know who I'm speaking to.
You're speaking to Titi right now. Go ahead. You're speaking to Titi from Greenwood County. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, what I want to contribute to that program. Yeah, what I want to contribute to that program is the problem that we are having today in Nigeria on the election issue caused by election commission now.
How?
How will it be when we have 100,000 invalid votes? Because the election commission never sent in people to educate the people how to vote.
All right. That invalid vote are the problem.
So that's my contribution there.
Thank you, yeah. Thank you. If anyway, hello.
Contribution already.
Yeah, hello?
Yes, hello.
Hello?
Hi.
Good evening?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is Mr. Edwin S. from Babulu.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, I just want to appreciate you for this program. Very educated and informative. My contribution tonight is going especially to the youth of this country and supporters of the various political parties. In regard to those that willing, those political party heads who want to cause violence in this country. So my advice to supporters of various political party is that any politician or political party head that will come out to say, let's cause violence, we should please tell them the children must be on the front line, then they are said must be behind their children, then of course we can stand behind them.
Okay.
Because we don't want to accept violence in this country.
Okay. Thank you so much for being a part of the program.
You are welcome.
Okay. This is Open Conversation on ELBC Radio, and we're talking peace, peace today, peace tomorrow, peace after elections. Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is Musa Koba calling from rehab.
Let's hear you.
First of all, I will thank you very much for giving this statistic tonight that it will be difficult for somebody to get a 51 plus. So we'll foresee second round. But my disappointment goes to the election commission. The election commission failed to give our voter rights. I mean, the knowledge toward the election. We were not informed. There was no training. There was no civil education, not on the car. And secondly, we imagine one person need appear on the ballot box, two about hearing the Milton fellow here. Where Milton came from?
Who Milton?
Abiton.
Why he need appear 2 times? On the
ballot. On the first and
you
on the
didn't
19th.
vote? You didn't vote? You saw it there 2 times?
No, I was not looking for him.
So who was looking for him and saw him there 2 times?
No, and secondly, they say for that man on the number 1, and Parker is on the number 2, and they all appear the same. And why and two now vote? Did I even check it to say, hey, somebody?
What, they appear the same? No, I don't want to take it for that. No, that's not true. That's not true. They appear the same. But when you know Appleton before you say they appear the same?
I don't know him. I'm looking for him.
But they don't say they appear the same, no. ELBC, me. Don't bring ELBC on ELBC.
What about the education? You will carry on?
No, I agree with you on that.
You have a point.
You have a point with the, the civic voter education. You have a point on that one. But, but for you to say, Appleton and Joe Bagari, they appear to say that I disagree with you now.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, I listen to you. I thank very much the Liberian. The Liberian are very modest and respectful. When I heard people saying talking about people the word over there, Liberian people, we have talked election, we got election already. So without there for anything, I'll be able to go up and down again in this country. I will pray for every day.
Okay,
I pray to God that everything will go all right. This is what you see from the time the election happening. We see that finally we've listened to the election commission.
That's the right thing to do. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being a part of the program. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This is Jerome Weah Jr. I do join from the World Days program crew.
I like my grand crew people. Thanks for joining us. Let's hear you.
Thank you for your show tonight. This country Liberia will suffer a heavy defeat from the 40 years civil war. We don't want for people to come and disrupt the peace that we are enjoying today.
Sure.
We're carrying some all beyond today for education, and there are good things today we are seeing from the government today. So we don't want for people to come and keep all in fear. So we beg people, election is our one person to win. The state is one state, and one person has to sit down in the seat. As all people, everybody that in that mood to choose from that. And thank you for your show. And to join you from Denver County about this number 2.
So thought I want you to me.
Now we are people who are to form the one to see young to a parade. There you are, Comogia. And you are tapping Jackie at an angle, not batting. What are on you? I come this year.
Oh, I come this year. Thank you so much. That was so good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. As I cool the main spoke here. Hello. And then the phone's again going. I don't know what kind of mood it's in right now, but it goes, in some kind of mood. But again, it's very, very important. All of us are very, very concerned about what is happening and what other people want to do to make it look like we're fighting war in Liberia. Like, these elections, it must boil down to one person, a particular person winning, and if that person doesn't win, we must go to the streets. We must take. Somebody posted on Facebook, Eugene Fagon, in fact, let me not say somebody, but the Liberian people are resolved. They're getting into the streets tomorrow. How in the world do you do that? You said in America, why didn't you come here and get in the streets, let people see you get in the street, Eugene Fagon? But you sit there and just post things on Facebook, how Liberians, will not be intimidated, they're getting in the streets somewhere. Who is getting in the street and for what reason? Is anybody going to leave what they have to do and jump in the streets because they've lost their mind or what?
I think what we are doing, it's very important. Tonight, we're trying to calm the atmosphere and we're trying to stabilize the environment. That's what we are doing. And let us not be fooled. Those of you listening, let us not be fooled by someone not only sitting in America, but someone sitting in certain corner in Liberia will tell you, say, jump in the streets.
And they will not do that, but they're encouraging you to get there and get hurt.
They're not telling you, say, join me in the streets, but they're telling you, jump in the street. Let us not go that route.
And the way the play is, the Liberian people will do this.
Yes.
They're sitting back. Yes. They're not doing it, but because they just, want to encourage you.
They take themselves out of it.
The Liberian people will do this. Then you get encouraged and say, oh yeah, we're going in the streets. We're going to do this. They're not going to join you there. You get hurt. Your property gets destroyed. They sit back and laugh because they think they're so smart.
We have a system of governance in the country. We have a particular institution that is responsible to take care of the security in our country. We have an institution that is responsible to take care of grievances in our country. So if you think that one way or the other, as a Liberian, you have your right, your inalienable right, that no man can abstract from you, as a Liberian citizen. If you think something is not right and you want to get it right, they have the requisite authority that you can go to as a Liberian citizen. Don't put people under the impression and use your influence to say, I will gather 10,000 men. Sometimes I want to be speaking, with that zeal and that dexterity. We will put 10,000 men in the street.
Let's take 3 more calls, and then we'll take 3 more calls, and then we call it a quit and on the program tonight. Good evening. Good evening. Hey, see? You're on the line and you're not paying attention. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Hello?
Hi.
Everybody do.
Really?
Hello?
So what do you want me to say now? What do I want to say? You call insult, you still doing Halle Bally. As if to say, when I tell you my body not already, you make it already. Hello.
Yeah, hello, how you doing?
Good.
Okay. Yeah, this is Representative from Maryland County.
From where?
From Maryland County, Harper.
How is Harper?
People calling tonight.
Yeah, Harper is doing better. Month is like a crew.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Let's hear you.
Okay, yes, what I'm sad I keep hearing about the issue of threatening, the peace of the country. For me, it's actually kind of things that I'm not wanting to hear. Yeah, because I'm looking at with Bar, remembering what happened to me, my grandfather, who were twins and during that night, we learned that the rebel during the time of war, they were coming, penetrating the towns, into our town, and my father was confused. I wish now I was a little child, but I could remember what was happening during the day. When I said that too, we're about several siblings. So until when they say you mention it, took a question, if anybody come here, I should die, or my children should live. But we're all there. So now it's not, if they came in, when I came over, I said, Papa, I think I was saying that you were confused. So if they had to kill him now, I would say, who would take it up? People who are killed or two. And
that is why war is not good.
Yeah, and when to continue, and we left our farm.
Hello. He's gone off the line, but he was making a salient point. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. How you doing?
I'm doing from Maryland County, City.
Let's hear you from Pribo Southern District. Oh, people pressing gone off. Hello. Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yes, ma'am. Let's hear you.
I want to
I'm not sure I'm getting you. I'm not sure I'm getting you. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yes, I'll take 2 more and then I'm done with the calls. Hello?
Yeah, hello? Once more?
Once more? No, that is so unfair. No. You have to give others the chance to call. Hello? Let other people make their input, please. Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Is that Titi Gibro?
Present.
Yeah, Titi Gibro, my name is John Bropler.
Mr. Bropler, you calling us from Maryland?
I'm in La Paz here.
Oh, okay. You sound like a Marylander. That's why I asked. But let's hear you.
I used to be a Marylander.
But who are you now? Oh, okay. Almost the same. Oh, like what's it mean? Former Marylander. I'm done. I'm done. I think we should just, talk about what we've talked about and then we call it a quit. I'm sorry, I'm not taking calls anymore because it's really distorting.
Yeah.
But I know all of you have the same thoughts like we have tonight. And it's about peace in our country.
Exactly.
It's about, putting Liberia first. It's about, when we talk about government, we all make the government.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean that you have to hold a position or higher position in the government
in one of the branches.
You can be a part of the government. But we all are governed by the governors. Mm-hmm. But we make the government. And if we think that whatever we do here is going to be on other people because they are in government, because that's how some people see themselves. Although there are people in the private sector, but when we go to elections, all of us Liberians elect our leaders, mm-hmm. be it senators, be it representative, be it president. We all go through this process.
Exactly.
And because you are a part of making that happen, you are a part of the government. Mm-hmm. That is why it's a good thing when you live in a district to stay in that district and make a decision in that district. That is why when you live in a county, it's good to stay in that county and make a decision in that county. Mm-hmm. But that right to do so is your right. That's why people leave from their districts, go to other districts because they want other people to win. Mm-hmm. That is why you leave your county, go to another county because you feel another person should win and you should cheat on other people because I call it cheating.
But it's cheating.
Because if I live in Montserrat County, leave Montserrat County, go to Bone County and go make decisions for people in Bone County, it's so unfair.
It's cheating.
That is not what we call democracy.
Because suddenly you're going to leave Bone County and you're not living there. And the circumstances under which those people are living, it won't affect you.
Yeah, but sometimes we don't put all these things, we don't play our cards well because we have, we have a different orientation and we think because I'm related to this person, so I must make sure that person wins. Even the people who are running, that's what they make people to believe. Mm-hmm. That you're my friend, so come in this district where I'm running. I tell people I'm not going to do that.
No.
I live in this district and I'm going to make a decision in my district. If my decision, if the majority of the people in my district don't see my decision as their decision, that is fine.
That is it.
We live with it. But to leave from your district, go to another district and make a decision there, and you expect that the person who is in your district should work miracle, because if you have stayed in that district to, make a decision, the person who you think would have been better will be your leader.
Exactly.
But again, it is what it is.
Exactly.
As a country. And if we make these decisions, we're not going to make these decisions again until after 6 years.
Oh, yes.
We have a representative now in my district. You have a representative in your district. We have senators in our counties now. After 9 years before those people can be removed. That is why when you're making those kind of decisions, you think twice.
You make conscious decisions.
If you do not think twice and you just do it for today or you do it for the moment, fine. Learn to live with that. There is no reason why somebody running as a representative doesn't win the elections and wants to make sure that by all costs, by hook or by crook, they are put there. Go to court.
Simple.
Go to court.
Simple.
Let the courts be the one to tell you whether you were cheated or not. But to, gather people and say, we're going to get in the streets, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. We ain't ready for that. We've gone through a lot. We've been there. We've done that. And we're okay. We're putting our lives together and we must remain on this peaceful path. I think that is one of the reasons why the president always preaches peace. He has been seen as this peaceful person, but sometimes you don't know the importance of peace until you are destabilized.
Until
that peace is broken, like you've said, until somebody tempers with that peace, then you know the importance of peace. If you're sitting home and everything is okay, you are not here when we used to be sitting there and be thinking whether the rocket coming for on the side or you coming to fall on the other side, or they bumping the other place, they bumping Clarita, or they doing the other way, and you running, you dashing bullet, you running to Freeport to go look for food, you can't even find food, you jumping all day by day, you can't even see nowhere. People looting places, you want to go loot, you scary, you won't go there before somebody kill you and all of that. We've been there, we don't die, we ain't even able to go back there, my people.
I'm hoping that a lot of the voters, particularly those first-time voters, those people who were unfortunate to come in contact with the war, I hope they wouldn't be allowed to avail themselves,
God forbid,
to be used for violence.
God forbid.
And one thing I want to say is that, you see, we try to use this medium to calm the atmosphere and to talk to our people all across Liberia that even if someone is telling you, let's get out in the streets, don't do it. We have a governing institution in the country that is responsible for everything that happens in the country. If you think that there is something that dissatisfies you, we have the requisite authority. Look, like you rightly said, bumping on the side, the rocket on the side, and all of that. We went through these things. We have experienced these things.
If you eat chicken green before, bobo, jump, pan cabbage, pumpkin.
You see, the other time, can you imagine? During the war one time, during the war, we ate this thing, fertilizer, in the ammo water, and we forgot to know that it wasn't sugar.
Oh, okay.
The white fertilizer. My mother was cooking that thing during the war, and she put the fertilizer in the ammo water.
For some of us, we're only alive today by the special grace of God, because I know what I went through during the war. We had to go to White Plains to go for kids meat. You know, we jumping in our water, you know, where they have the current, but you finish forgetting about that. You're holding something and then you're putting your hand all the way down just for kids meat. What is kids meat? That you will even get drowned over there, and that will be the end of your life. God spare our lives for a purpose. You will leave from your place across the bridge and go all the way where just for sugar cane. You're toting that from a very long distance.
Yes.
You will have to carry that. How much are you going to make out of that? Then my mother will cook the food, the potato greens, that they half cup of rice, and they will pack the potato greens on our rice. The rice with get soft. You wanted to get plenty because the children plenty. Everybody got to eat. By the time they share the food, they must say, I cry. I say my food small.
Yes.
I suffer.
It's raw. It's raw.
My food small. My mom said that food is okay. You have to manage because everybody has to eat. That is the situation. People feet getting swollen. Your foot is swollen, but no, it's a terrible experience.
Situation.
It's a very terrible experience. Nobody wants to go back to.
It's something that you have to adapt to forcefully.
That's it. That's the word.
Yes.
Crying.
You have to.
Hungry.
Your food not plenty. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? You need to live with the circumstances, because certain unscrupulous people were somewhere and they think that they have national entitlement.
Yes.
And because of their thinking that they have national entitlement, it led the entire country into what we went through.
You know, and
yesterday.
some of those same people are benefiting at the expense of the majority of the people, and still all they want to do is, destabilize the peace that we have. Let us be wise.
Liberians, don't allow yourself or yourselves to be misused by these people who want to inflict fear and panic in this peaceful democracy that we're enjoying. Nobody should encourage you to break this democracy. Don't avail yourself, don't subject yourself to the will and pleasure of these negative politicians who want to spoil this country. It's very important. We must keep the peace, and I like the atmosphere today. It is a non-political atmosphere. It's just to encourage the Liberian people to still focus and to keep the peace of this country.
On that
note, very important. On this note, we hope to meet again.
So we'll talk to you, God willing, tomorrow on Open Conversation, and let's keep the peace. God willing, we'll see you when we see you. We'll talk to you when we talk to you. Thanks to all of you who made it your duty to contribute, and all of you who are listening, and those of you online would like to say thank you. Join us again tomorrow. Have a pleasant evening.
Bye-bye.
From the east to the west, north to the south, yeah, let's come together.